guys, I gotta say, I feel like I didn't read many books in August because this is my August monthly wrap up. I only read 4 physical books, guys. Like, for me, that is tragic. That is tragic. I was in a really big, I don't know, life slump. I didn't do much of anything besides rot in bed, and that's what I needed at the time, so I'm recovering. We love that for us. I'm sure many people know I was stuck. No, many people will not know this, but I had been reading it for 2 months. 2 fucking months. I feel like this was the month where I finished a lot of the books I was in the middle of, and now I'm down to 1 book at a time, and I'm living and I'm loving. Okay, so first book, It by Stephen King. I can't believe this was published in 1986. Like, that is crazy. I did not think it was published that long ago. Like, I knew it was like a classic, but my overall rating was 4 stars and Spice was 3 stars. Which is a little bit worrying because they're kids half the time. No, that scene at the end of the book, that was crazy, if you know what I mean. Like, ugh, it was gross actually, yeah. But girl, do what you want to do, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so general premise for this book. It follows, so I don't know the term for it, but it's like a back and forth timeline between when they were kids, the Losers Club this is, which there are 7 kids in it, I think, 1 girl, 6 boys. And this is like the 1950s, so it's all really old. Imagine Stranger Things. That's like what I imagined. When they're adults. So when they're kids, the main character's brother. Actually, I'm not gonna spoil that. When they were kids, this monster, it was going around killing all the kids and eating them. Yep, love that for us. Anyway, these, they were called the Losers Club, came together and organized themselves in order to take out the monster. They were kids we loved. And so that's like the general presence of that time. I don't want to give anything away. And then 27 years later, they've all, you know, had their lives. They're all really, really successful, like almost weirdly successful, like billionaires and stuff. And they're all called back by one of the losers, Mike, who stayed in town to keep track of the situation as a librarian and investigate the town's, which is called Derry, history. So anyway, he calls all of them back to start working the case because it is killing again. So then you sort of go back and forth between when they're adults and when they're kids, and then in the last few pages it like culminates into like them taking down it as a kid and then them taking down it as an adult, because it kills in 20. Oh no, sorry, that's murder. That's not a murder, that is a spoiler actually. Anyway, it's a really long book. It's 1,000 pages, and the reason it took me so long is because it didn't feel like all the other books I've read. Obviously it's a classic, but it wasn't bingeable for me. So I read it in like 50-page increments, so it obviously took me a while to get through, but when I was reading it I was really involved. So there's that. I gave it 4 stars because I really enjoyed it, but obviously less than that because it took me so long to read and I wasn't binging, and for me binge reading means the book is good. So there's that. And honestly, it was a lot more like, because it's a horror, it was a lot more optimistic than I thought it would be, which I really enjoyed. Okay, and my quote for this book was, "Go toward all the life there is with all the courage you can find and all the belief you can muster. Be truth, be brave, stand, all the rest is darkness." I love that. I love that. I love that. The next book I've read was Four, which is a novella of the Divergence series. It's from Four's POV. I was about to give another spoiler because apparently I suck at not giving spoilers. And it's his POV of Divergent, a little bit before Divergent, so 2 years before Divergent, when it was his choosing ceremony and initiation, to the events of Divergent and a little bit into Insurgent. So I read that before I started Allegiant. It was, I read this at 3.75 stars with a 1 spice rating. I gotta admit, it was a little bit boring just because there wasn't as much suspense or like tension because you already knew, spoiler, because you already knew what was gonna happen. But I do admit, I was a little bit suspicious of 4 through the events of Divergent and Allegiant and Insurgent. So this was good. This was good. Because like I actually knew like he wasn't like trying to like trick Triss. So like I know I can trust him in Allegiant, and I feel like I read that at a really good time. So here's my quote. That's what I really want. To shed all the people who want to form and shape me, one by one, and learn instead to form and shape myself. I love that. I actually remember really loving his POV because I don't know, Four's POV was just, I don't know, good. It was good. It was good. Especially like because you already know the events that are going to happen. It was good for that. The next book I read was Don't You Dare by C.E. Rissy. It is an sports romance we loved. Oh my god, we loved the characters. I rated it 4 stars and a 3.5 spice rating. And it's about 2 kids who have been friends, like best friends, since they were little kids. And at a school party, high school party, when they were 18, they got dared to kiss, and ever since then, Keen has been like aware that he has a crush on Aspen. He's like long-term best friend, and he's just like, I can't fuck up a relation, like our friendship. I like, you know. So he like holds it down for 2 years, and then he's like more comfortable in his sexuality and starts going like gay texting sites. And Aspen realizes this, and Aspen's just really, he's not dumb, he's emotionally immature. So he like he makes some mistakes on this book. There's a really bad third act breakout that made me cringe really hard. I was just I hated that, but besides that, they were really fucking cute. Okay guys, they were really fucking cute, but if you don't like miscommunication, this might not be the book for you. But they were so cute. They were so cute, and I loved the dares throughout this book. Like the dares were like their loving relationship. Like, I loved. Okay. And the quote was, well, in the words of the great Olaf, some people are worth melting for. So cute. Okay, so that was just a little cute fluffy romance compared to my usual dark romance, which is one of them that are next. Dark romance. Safe by Taylor McNiff. Girl, this book. I was crying so hard. It was just Taylor McNiff's full stop. She might be like my favorite author. I don't know. Don't take my word on that, but maybe. Okay, just little content warning to start off with. This was like sexual trafficking, human trafficking, like sexual slavery, that sort of thing. So if that's not for you, or if it might be triggering, like this is like, there are scenes where you read about like the main character being raped. So if that's not for you, don't read this book. But oh my god, Ollie, oh my god, guys. Okay, Ollie is, me trying not to give spoilers. Okay, Ollie was in a relationship with a boyfriend, but then the boyfriend was trying to get into like the whole human trafficking business, so he manipulates Ollie into being like his first slave, and like starts selling. Oh, it's just horrible, really. It's fucking horrible. And the other main character is Huck, who is an ex-military turned detective, and this series is called The Veterans of Kallenberg. And it's a trilogy, and the 2 other books are also Huck's best friends from his time in the army. And then Huck finds out about Ollie's situation and gets him out, which is like the little like thread of silver lining you find through all like the horrible shit that happens. But like, this was amazing, and I rated it a 4.75 stars. I probably would have rated it a 5 stars if not for the fact that I stopped halfway through when there was a third act breakup because I hate confrontation. So I just like stopped, waited so long that I forgot why I stopped, started again, and loved it. And I remember liking the second half, but like the first half, but since like I had gone back and forth, I couldn't really get my whole feeling. So practically just based on the second half, it was a 4.75. If I'd read it all together, it definitely would have been a 5 stars, but I didn't. So yeah. And Taylor McNish, she does these so well. Like, I personally feel like she's such like an underrated author, but that's probably just because of like the actual content of what she's writing like breaks you. Like, I cry my eyes out in every single one of her books, guys. It's actually not okay. Like, it was just amazing. Okay, so yeah. And the quote was, "My past doesn't make me naive or weak or susceptible. It made me strong." No, like, the thing I'm learning through reading like so many books, well, one of the things I'm learning is the people who have gone through trauma, like so much trauma, is stronger for it. And we as a society like pity them, treat them weak or fragile, and we really shouldn't be. Okay, and the rest of the books I read for the month were audiobook reads. Yes, I did say that correctly. So I finished the Harry Potter the Harry Potter series because I was listening to it all through Audible. Guys, the language is not languaging. I'm feeling this really late at night, so don't judge. Okay? So I finished that and I read the 5 through 7, which if you've never read or watched the Harry Potter series, what the fuck are you guys doing? What the fuck? And I know they're making a new Harry Potter. They don't need to. They don't need to because it is set perfectly in the time it was written for. So it like makes sense. But if it was written today, like today's age, like if it was the movies were shot in today's age, like I guess like the production would be better, but it wouldn't be the same because it wouldn't have that vibe of like old modern kind of like, you know, the era. I know I'm really bad at explaining things, okay guys, because like this day and age is just so much more accepting than they were, and some of the lines they said in Harry Potter would not be acceptable today, and I do not support half of the things they say. Like, I'm trying to think of an example. Ron. There you go. Okay, and then I read the Magnus, I've listened to the Magnus Chase books. I love Magnus Chase. I love Magnus Chase. Okay, glad we all agree on that. Yeah, glad we all agree on that. Okay, so the Magnus Chase is in the Percy Jackson world, and he is Annabeth's cousin. Annabeth is in the Percy Jackson world. I'm doing this because they're on like my top shelf. And this is the Norse, based on Norse mythology. I won't say what I was about to say because that is a spoiler. I was about to say whose Magnus Chase's connection was to the Norse world. But anyway, Magnus Chase dies in like the first 100 pages. And he's sent to Valhalla to become a Einherjar. It's like, so they're brave warriors who die with weapons in their hands are sent to Valhalla to await Ragnarok. So he's basically in this like hotel with like a bunch of like crazy Norse people who have been there for like 500 years. It's so funny. It's the humor, I love it. And also Magnus is like a healer, especially like in today's stuff. A lot of the male characters aren't healers. Find me a book where the main character is a male hero and I will be shocked. So Magnus is a healer and I love it so much. And I love Alex. And I love Alex. I'm not gonna say what I just said because okay. I love Alex. Thank you for agreeing with me. You're welcome. Okay. And the last one, Lights Out. This is not in chronological order at all, by the way. I also listened to Lights Out. I love Lights Out. I love Navisa Allen's books, even though there's only been 2 of them so far. I've loved them both. Oh yeah, and I don't do ratings or like reviews in like my journal of audiobooks, so none of these have ratings. Yeah, I love Lights Out. It's just hilarious. It's hilarious and it's funny, but it's kind of deep. It's like the perfect mix of everything for me. And it's just, it's good. It's making murder funny, like, but it's also serious at times. Like, it's, I don't know what to explain. Okay, I'll just do a summary of the events, shall I? Okay, so Lights Out follows Ali and Josh. Ali is a nurse, a trauma nurse, who has like been really into her job and then realizes that she hasn't been living like at all. Like she's just been doing her job. She hasn't been living for herself and she realizes she wants to do that. But she also follows a masked guy. Oh fuck my foot, I'm getting the tinglies. Oh, pain. Oh. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Ali follows a masked person on TikTok. Is it TikTok? I think it might be TikTok or Instagram. I don't know. And she loves it. She loves it. Okay, guys, she loves it. And she's honestly just like great. She's great. She's funny. And then there's Josh. He is like a super IT guy, and he's the masked person Ali follows on Instagram/TikTok. And through connections in real life, Josh like meets Ali, finds out that she watches his videos, and then starts stalking her. It's so good. It is so good and kinky and just wow. Yeah, it's wow. I think because I read this earlier this year, I actually might have a review from the first time I read it. Maybe I don't. Oh well. And Josh is also the son of a serial killer. But he's like the cutest person ever. Like he's just, you know, a bubble of sunshine. But he's like always like self-obsessing, like, oh my god, was that like psychopathy, like my psychopath? And he like freaks out about that stuff. But he is like the furthest from psychopath like ever. He's like really cute. Yeah, he's really cute, guys. And yeah. So stalker romance, we love. I think everything in the Into the Darkness trilogy, which I think this book is the first in, is Stalker. Because the second book was too. So those are all the books I read / listened to in August. We loved them all. We loved them all. Did I? Yes. Yes, I did. No, I liked some. Loved the others. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you and goodbye.